Yeah, can we mention the fact that I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. Talon was part of the Damian Wayne leak.
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
now, why do people think this isn't a Batman game? What are you guys talking about?
I don't get why people are so against it too. They're like, no,
It's
I don't
like-
want another Batman game. I'm like, well, you're gonna be first in line to buy it. Like, let's.
Yeah, exactly.
You're putting down $100 on this pre-order too.
You're
Now
gonna be
let's-
live streaming it every single day. You're gonna be
Yep.
making videos about it. Get out of here.
Now let's talk about that, because this is a whole nother discussion for a whole nother topic that I want to get into. So it's really interesting to me because this notion that people say what they don't. Have you ever heard the saying, look at what people do, not what they say?
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words. It honestly, in my view, is exactly that way with the new Batman game. And once they release this game and we see the sales, I could be proven completely wrong. But here's my speculation and my guess. My guess is people are going to say, oh, I want a new game. I want a new character and a new game. And WB Games could say, all right, awesome. We're going to make a Green Arrow game. And I guarantee you that game would sell less than half of what Arkham Knight did. Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
But, and WB, well-meaning as they are, they're thinking, but that's what all the fans said. The fans said they're tired of Batman games. We've already had 4, and they said that they wanted something new, so we gave them something new. What happened? Our PR venture backfired, and this is why I think back and forth. Like, should we be listening to the fans? But 2-1 fans think that we should do a Batman Beyond game, which would be a sequel to Arkham Knight. Which I don't know if that's what they should do. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think it would sell as well. I don't think a Batman Beyond game would sell as well as an Arkham Origins
But
sequel.
you know what I mean, though? People are like,
Yeah.
oh, we really want a new game. And if DC listened and did a Green Arrow game, even a Superman game, like people, like a lot of DC fans think Superman is boring and lame. And like, it's just so fascinating to me, this notion that like people will say things that aren't necessarily vindicative of what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't exactly know how you counteract that. In some sense, you just kind of have to trust your own instincts as a game dev and sort of do what you want to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, when we're looking at like these Batman games, they are immensely popular. I mean, even Arkham Knight, as I guess you could say, it's controversial with the PC port and the DLC and the story and and the mismarketing. Everything about it was really weird, but it still sold super well. And it's because it's Batman, and it was Batman Arkham, and it was a Batman Arkham conclusion made by Rocksteady. And honestly, if we get honestly, I think I've seen more people like Batman Arkham Origins over the years. And although a Batman Beyond Arkham game might be more requested, I think that more people would enjoy a Batman Arkham Origins sequel and would actually feel like that would be an appropriate way to continue the Arkham franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, completely going into the future or changing, or going with a different character. Like, I think they should go with a different character, but it doesn't seem like that's what they're going with right now. This is the 10th year of Batman Arkham Asylum anniversary. This is the 80th year of Batman. It's like, it seems like something's happening that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think that there's a property WB could make that would outsell Batman in terms of a video game right now?
Not right now.
I don't think so either.
I think had they started earlier, I think Superman could have,
Yes.
but not as it stands right now.
So
I think at some point the Flash possibly could if they keep doing really well with that character. But as of right now, I think Batman's the most.
So let's
I-
do some theoretical. Let's do like a sort of a theoretical exposition, so to speak. So think about this: you're WB, you're a WB executive. As a matter of fact, a Superman video game, a Flash game, would cost way more to make than a new Batman Arkham game. Just a fact. For obvious reasons. Because you don't have the engine, it's much riskier, you don't have... I mean, they've tried to do a Suicide Squad game, we know this. They've tried to do other games, and there are some challenges associated with that. So anyway, you're a WB dev, and you want to try a Superman game. You think it's going to sell worse than a new Batman game. The new a Batman game already has the engine. It already has things that work, and there's only so many things you need to change, namely a new story. But for large in part, you're making tweaks to existing gameplay and all that kind of stuff. you have an existing lore, an existing fan base, whereas with Superman, it's something that'll be popular. I think it'll sell well, but you have that initial risk. So in other words, you have a higher potential benefit with the Batman game and a lower potential risk and a lower cost. So from WB's perspective, why in the world would you make a Superman game?
Yeah.
There's no incentive to, because I think that every projection, and WB knows good and well that nothing is going to outsell Batman, regardless of what fans say about how they're fatigued. It's really going to be a matter of what do the numbers show. And if there is evidence to suggest that fans really are fatigued of Batman, let's say that this new Batman game from WB Montreal sells less than Arkham Knight, that's something to look at. But I can almost guarantee you that will not be the case. I would bet...
No, I think it's going to sell more because it's been so long.
Absolutely, it will sell more.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially with Arkham Knight's story and Arkham Knight itself, I believe that it would.
Yeah. And if the game works on PC, absolutely.
Yep.
So, I mean...
Dude, I think... Hold up, sorry. I think that people just want to see Bruce Wayne in his prime. And, I just think that people want to see, Batman. I don't think they want to see anything else besides that right now. And with all the hype, WB Montreal doing all of these teases, it's pretty evident that people want to see a Batman game. And I've seen that in my comments. I've seen that from your comments too, Slick. I've seen this everywhere. People want this game.
People are really excited about it. And, it's one of those things that I think that people, their opinions change over time, because maybe a couple years ago, the same people that are hyped might have said, I'm not so sure. But now that there's been some time and there's been some distance, which is maybe a secret sort of, brilliant aspect of WB's plan, albeit an unintentional one, an inadvertent one, but it is a plan nonetheless, is that, there's been some space, there's been some distance, and, people have replayed the old Arkham games a couple times between, 2015 and now, and people have realized that this is something that they want. There is a lot of stories you can tell. But, right after Arkham Knight comes out, you might have a sour taste in your mouth from the game, and you could really get into this mode of no more Arkham. But the reality is what we're going to see when the game sells, I would be willing to bet money, is that that is a complete subset of the community, and it's just in terms of marketability, WB's making the right moves, making a Batman game. That's all I'll say about that,
Yeah, I agree.
So it's really, really interesting to sort of think about that. But I think the game's going to sell really well. Honestly, fan hype is only growing since it's in the past couple years. It continues to grow. I've just seen from the amount of video views that I get from searches, people are searching for the game. I know that probably you guys can attest to the same thing, just gaining subs, gaining viewers, and people are really, really interested and want to talk about this stuff and see some stuff. So, you can only put so much weight into those things, and it'd be one thing if, the videos about this were not getting views, or when the game sells, it's not going to sell. But I don't think that that's going to be the situation at all. You know what I mean?